Hey everybody, this is Gretchen Wylder coming to you on Lesbian Visibility, which also happens to be the 5-year anniversary of These Them's season finale launch. So season 1, there's only one season so far. The finale was released 5 years ago, which is crazy. My cat wants to say hi. Hello. He says, Happy Lesbian Visibility Day. You know, I've been meaning to make this video for 5 years. And I just haven't. I've had a little bit of camera fright, I guess. I don't know. There's been a lot of crazy shit that's happened. So I just kind of wanted to talk about what the last 5 years have been like, having these thems out in the world, and just kind of give you the one-on-one. With it being Lesbian Visibility Day, I do want to say I made these thems because at the time when I started writing it in 2016, yowza, there was no femme for mask representation. It's been really crazy in these past 5 years, seeing TikTok blow up and all the mask love, and it's great. But back when I was writing these thems and making these thems, it was the L word and then a couple other queer representation things, but there were no non-binary characters on TV. There were hardly any trans characters, hardly any trans mask men either. And anyway, and honestly, I wanted to make it because I have always felt invisible as a queer femme. Right, Pickles? He knows. He hears me talk about it. So yeah, this video could be interesting if you are a fan of these thems. I'm a fan of you. Or if you want to learn more about what it takes and the behind the scenes stuff to making your own work. These Thems was my first filmmaking project. So I think I did a pretty damn good job, okay? For my first one. Had a lot of great help, I'll tell you that. That's the key. Secret to success, baby. It's in the sauce. And the sauce is made up of all the other people who love you and show up for you and make great art as well. So let's start, okay? So I'm not going to talk about the making of this series. That, maybe if enough people are interested, I could tell you some crazy behind the camera stories and just how to get it made. Right now I want to talk about getting it out into the world and distributing the project, because that has been the bane of my existence for the last 5 years, okay? So, oh my God. We released episode 1 on February 27th, 2020, right before the lockdowns happened. And, looking back, you would think oh, you have a fully polished project to release. You must have been in good shape. But here was the issue. I was okay, let's release on YouTube. I regret not releasing my series on my own channel. That was such a huge mistake. And I implore anyone who is making their own work of any kind to maintain ownership of it and keep it on your own channel. I had released a couple little sketches and things on YouTube, but nothing like this. And I was afraid to, I guess, believe in myself in that next way. And there was this other channel that hosts lesbian content, lesbian scripted series and things. And the long and the short of it is that I feel like I was lied to by them. I feel like I'm trying to be careful with my words here. They also started releasing the series before the finalized and signed contract was in place. And then the night before releasing the finale, these women basically emailed me a newly revised contract and said, sign this or we will delete everything. By this point, the first several episodes already had, I think, well over 100,000 views. And it was fucking the beginning of COVID. It was a scary time. This was spring 2020. I was living alone. I was scared. I was also scared to like reach out to people for advice because everyone was going through such a hard time. It was a messed up time, and I feel like these women really took advantage of the situation. They ended up making more money than I did from its release, and they just had really, really shitty business practices. And I could go on, but I won't right now. But I felt deceived, and I felt like taken advantage of, and it was pretty devastating to have my work out there on someone's channel who like was treating me really badly. Like, I didn't want to be cross-promoting for them. You feel me? And honestly, shortly after we started releasing the episodes, YouTube started flagging some of the episodes as pornography. If you've seen these thems, you'll know it's not pornography. It's a cute queer comedy series with very PG-13 sex scenes, okay? So here I was, didn't have a management team, was just doing my own thing. And on one hand, it was like the channel that I had my series on were being jerks. Ugh. And then those episodes kept getting taken down by YouTube. And they would be taken down for like a good amount of time in between. So I was like, you know what, this sucks. Let's just take it down. Taking it down. So 6 months after it was released on YouTube, instead of fighting to get these episodes back out from being censored on this other person's channel, I made the decision to take it down. And it was really hard. Like, that first 6 months, you really push to get something seen and something out there, and it just felt like a failure, and that was really hard for me to digest. It was around this time, fall of 2020, that Outfest, the Los Angeles Film Festival, started a platform called Outfest Now, and they wanted these thems to be one of their flagship shows. So I signed a contract with Outfest Now. It was released, but like, the promises that I had been made by these Outfest people weren't fulfilled. And I'll tell you this. I'm going to take a pause here, because honestly, the reason I didn't make this video sooner is because it's kind of a bummer. Yeah, like, I really, again, I'm proud of the work, and it's been a hard pill to swallow to experience being on the other side of that and trying to get it out into the world. So anyway, I hope people can learn from this experience. So Outfest Now was just kind of a bummer, and now, like, I don't even think they're operating anymore. I don't know what's going on with them, but there was a lot of issues with that festival. I wanted to put it on Netflix. A lot of other people were like, why isn't it on Netflix? Why isn't it on Hulu? Even the short form series itself, I really was like, ooh, Hulu would be a great platform. So I creatively found someone at Hulu, and I sent them a care package. I did get a response. They were like, this sounds like an interesting concept. We have something similar in the works. So, you know, I was really hoping to get it on a bigger platform. And I will say this, as a queer femme, as a dyke, as a lesbian on Lesbian Visibility Day, you know, it's interesting because I've been out for 20 years. And that, early in my career, when I moved to New York City in 2010, and I was in Chicago before that, I really just wanted to make queer projects. I wanted to make queer art, I wanted to be cast in queer roles, or I wanted to queer something up. And people did not like that. They didn't like it. Especially like 2010 to like 2018-ish. And I know I lost out on a lot of opportunities. I had meetings with managers, and people were like, oh, wait, but the queer thing, ugh, can we just not talk about that? And it's so interesting because now, all this time later, now I'm being told I'm not queer enough. So it is what it is. So Outfest wasn't doing too well. Outfest Now wasn't doing too well. So I reached out to Open Television in Chicago, got the web series put up on OTV, which is a great platform. They really support their creatives. This is also around the same time that Vico booked Our Flag Means Death, which I'm sure most people who are watching this at this point have probably seen. Great show. Vico was wonderful in it. Very exciting for them. Very exciting. And Vico, like the wonderful friend and collaborator that they are, was like, you know what? With this newfound success, let's try to pitch these thems as a pilot. And I was like, bet, let's go. So we worked with their agency, big agency, and I wrote a pilot, and I'm still really proud of it. It is not These Thems the web series exactly, but it's based off of it. There's some really cool new plot points and new character development and all these new characters and all these things. So then a producer came on board. Actually, These Thems got into the Gotham project market, which I highly recommend. You can pitch your projects, and if you get chosen, you get to like go in front of a bunch of people who are interested producers or directors, industry decision makers. So I met a woman named Ryan Cunningham there. She's worked on Broad City, Inside Amy Schumer, Search Party, Z-Way, a bunch of amazing female-led comedies. And she's queer, and she's great. So she wanted to sign on as executive producer and help us get this made. So everything was like moving. We were having like pitch practice meetings. Things were going. We were really excited. And we were about to start pitching, and then the strikes happened. So that put everything on pause. And then there's like a recoup period after that, and everything was on pause. And then it was like everything in the entertainment industry has just been crazy. It's just crazy. Not a fan of the industry. I'm a fan of making the art, not a fan of the industry itself. We then decided to re-release the series on YouTube. Woo! I will say I feel a lot better at least having it out into the world on YouTube where people can find it. Because it hurt my heart to have it off so long. It really did. I love all the comments. Sometimes when I'm in a bad mood, I'll just read the nice comments that people wrote on my art baby, and I'll feel a little better. So thank you. We re-released it in the winter of 2023 on YouTube. And shortly after releasing it, I got an email from YouTube saying it was censored again. At first it was censored for inappropriate content, and then it was flagged as duplicate content as well, because it had first been released on this other stupid channel. And so it lives on the YouTube, the These Thems YouTube channel. And that's where it lives for now. We'll see. Life is long. But after all that, honestly, I've just been low-key traumatized by this industry, by how I was treated in it too. There are other things that happened during the past 5 years. So specifically, in summer of 2020, I was blacklisted by an editor at a major queer media company. And this editor had asked me to have sex with them the year before they had me blacklisted. They had me blacklisted for a bullshit excuse that doesn't add up, and they were the one to very directly ask me if I would have sex with them. And I was like, no, I'm good. Thank you. Let's just be friends. I'm cool. Thank you. Tried to be as kind with saying no thank you, but no thank you as I could. I was flattered. I just didn't want to mess around with this person. It felt really violating that this person had me blacklisted. It was, again, like I have done nothing to deserve that treatment. That felt very much very personal, and again, deeply unsettling. Like, even in the queer community, you can't escape sexual harassment or sexual favors or nepotism. And this person was also in this like clique of people who I thought some were my friends, so that was really hurtful. I'm like, this is like me and my therapist right now. Yeah, and they were all friends with this person that I had dated in LA shortly after I moved there. We dated for a little while, and she just kind of like dumped me in a really painful way, and kind of treated me like crap. So that fucking hurt. So it was like These Thems, the series, like signing a bad contract, having distribution problems, not making any money from it. I think people see the series, and I feel like a success because of the work. I have to reframe my idea of success as an artist and be like, is this enough? If I only accomplish, a heart-to-heart connection with individuals. Is that enough? Or do I need my own spin-off TV show? Yes, give it to me. But also, do I need it? I thought I did for a while. Now I'm realizing I don't. I have a lot of wonderful things in my life. The sun is setting. Do I look like an angel? I hope so. A angel. I like to say that these thems is the root of my greatest joy and my greatest suffering. And so it is. I kind of led with the hard stuff, but I do want to talk about the great stuff because these thems won 7 awards, including a Telly Award. We were nominated for Queerty Awards. Also, these thems was studied at Macquarie University by a professor of gender studies, and they determined that these thems was the first piece of narrative media that educated about the queer community through comedy. Ding! So that's pretty cool. These thems was translated into like 12 languages. A bunch of the subtitles have been lost at this point, but it happened, okay? Overall, it's had over 1 million views. I'm happy. I'm happy that it exists in the world. I'm happy I brought it from a seedling of an idea in my brain into this real life plane of existence, and I'm glad I got to catch my my beautiful self, my younger self, on film. And I'm glad I got to make art with friends and beautiful people. Will this be the last? I don't think so. I have faith, but I also believe in divine timing. I really had to take a break from all of this after everything I just told you. And I, in the meantime, have written a novel. Super proud of that. I still need to find a publisher, but I will. I've also written a bunch of films and other TV pilots. I've produced 3 movies. I'm working on my 4th right now. My films have screened at Tribeca and Bentonville Film Festival, which is Gina Davis's film festival. Things like that. And I'm working on a new project right now that I will announce soon, but it's a stage production. As an artist, thinking back over these last 5 years, I really have to ask myself, was it worth it? And it was. It always is. Making art, following your dreams is always worth it, even if you get in a lot of debt. Woo! So, that's kind of the crazy hoops that I wanted to just address and talk about, because people ask me still, is These Them season 2 coming? When is it going to be made? Da-da-da-da-da. And people don't actually realize how difficult something is to even put out there. And I haven't even told you about how I got it made yet. In the first place. It's crazy. I know. You hungry? Yeah? Aww. Isn't he cute? I do want to say thank you. Thank you to, if you're watching this, thank you. If you watch These Thems, thank you. If you shared it with somebody, thank you. I started writing the show the day after Trump was elected in 2016, so it's crazy that we are in another fucking Trump presidency. In a lot of ways, it's way worse. So, scary times. I still have hope that there is a future for These Thems. We've talked about maybe making a feature film. We've talked about keeping it as an indie web series. And I hope I get some opportunities from this at some point. That'd be nice. I'd love to be acting again. I would. I really hate this industry, so it's hard for me to stomach the rigmarole of auditioning. Plus, I'm writing my own things again, so I'll be acting in my own stuff soon. But I would love to be writing more professionally. I would love that. And just creating beautiful art for and about my queer community. So stay tuned. I'll let you know about my other projects soon. Happy Lesbian Visibility Day. Can you see me? Can you? I hope so. I'm backlit. Okay, much love.